I want to talk about writing. Writing can absolutely change your life. And there are so many ways that writing can make a huge difference in your life. Professionally, personally, and ways that you can help other people with your words. Writing is one of the most important communication skills that can future-proof your career. Yet, it has been found that it remains one of the biggest skill gaps that employers and recruiters see in job candidates. This is Invincible Career, and I'm Larry Cornett. And there's a quote from Barbara Walraff. It's in Improve Your Writing to Improve Your Credibility. And the quote is that people jump to all kinds of conclusions about you when they read documents you have written. They decide, for instance, how smart, how creative, how well organized, how trustworthy, and how considerate you are. And once they have made up their minds, it is hard to get them to see you differently. And that is true. Your writing makes an impression, and that's how we often communicate now, through email and Slack messages and whatever else you're using. But the good news is that learning to write well has never been more approachable than it is today. Also, it's never been easier to publish your words and have them reach thousands or even millions of people. Way back when I first started writing, this is back in college, high school, I used an electric typewriter. At least I was lucky it was electric, right? It was the old mechanical typewriters, although those are pretty cool. I dreamed of, writing and publishing a book, but I was totally overwhelmed by the thought of all the gatekeepers. It was very different then. You had to find an agent and work with editors and find a publisher. The whole process seems so complex that I'm still left with a dozen drafts of various books that are in all kinds of stages of completion. But today, you can crank out an article or a story online, run it through Grammarly, publish it, and have people all around the world reading your words within seconds. I mean, it's absolutely magical. And so maybe that process only seems magical to someone like me, who wrote on a typewriter before the internet even existed. But do you know what is still magical? The results. The impact that your writing can have on your life and the lives of others. I mean, anyone can be a writer. Anyone. And everyone can benefit from making it a consistent habit. So the first thing that writing does is it helps you professionally. There are so many ways to reach an audience that wants to hear what you have to say. But it is hard to beat writing for the ease of creation and the reach that it has for discovery. People finding you, consuming your writing online. Other methods such as, making videos and podcasting, which I obviously do. You're listening to it right now. They are definitely way more time consuming to create and publish. They're also more challenging for search and discovery. Text-based search engines like Google Web Search, they still dominate. I mean, being able to search within audio and search within video, there's some stuff that's experimenting with it, but it's just not the same. Writing still dominates. Writing also remains, at least for now, a human skill that artificial intelligence has yet to master. I know there's a lot of stuff dabbling with it. There's some cool stuff that Google's been doing. Still not as good as a human author that's able to write great words. So take advantage of this opportunity. Build an audience, while you can, before AI catches up with us. I have another quote from Bernard Marr. This is in 7 Job Skills of the Future. Things that AIs and robots can't do better than humans, for now. The quote is, "Many jobs require additional and very human qualities like communication, empathy, creativity, strategic thinking, questioning, and dreaming. Collectively, we often refer to these qualities as soft skills, but don't let the name fool you. These soft skills are going to be the hard currency in the job market as AI and technology take over some of the jobs that can be performed without people. So, what is one of the best ways to showcase your communication skills? Your empathy, your creativity, your strategic thinking, your vision, your wisdom. Yeah, it's writing. When I work with my clients, whether it's leadership coaching or career coaching, I almost always recommend that they start a writing practice. Publishing your words of wisdom and expertise and your point of view, and that's important, sharing your point of view, helps the right people discover you. While the 1% rule may be a little outdated, it is still quite true that a very, very tiny percentage of the population of the world are creators. The majority are consumers. And most people will never consistently produce well-written content that attracts an audience. Yes, of course, everybody is producing something and creating something. That's why the 1% rule is a little outdated. You know, they post photos on Instagram. They post snarky tweets on Twitter. Everybody does the Facebook updates about their kids, at least us older folks. People are asking and answering strange questions on Reddit. But that's not the same as writing a coherent story or an intriguing article. When you have a strong opinion and you are brave enough to share it, you will stand out. You will absolutely stand out and be part of that small percentage of people that are willing to do that. You will attract the right people and it'll push away the wrong ones. They won't like what you have to say. I have connected with thousands of people over the past years through my writing. It is the primary way that people discover me in my coaching practice. I mean, both writing and public speaking have had a seriously positive impact on my professional life. But don't just take my word for it. I have some other words. I spoke with a few clients and friends who agreed to share their thoughts on how writing has changed their lives. So I'm going to share a few of those clips. I have 4, and you can hear them talk about writing, why they do it, and how it has helped them personally and professionally. Terry Rodriguez Hong is going to talk about how she's been writing articles every week for the past few months on accessibility, design, investing in yourself, and having a strong mindset. Christopher Shute just got into writing. It's been amazing, the results that he's already seen. And his writing has given him more confidence. It's expanded his professional network. And it allows him to talk about issues he feels strongly about. He's going to talk about EdTech, for example. Anna Kadena is going to share how her writing powers her business as a freelance content strategist. So this is how she makes a living. She is a content strategist, a marketing strategist, and she writes. She's been doing it for a long time. This gives her the flexibility to travel around the world, and she works with a variety of international clients. And then finally, Trip Odell is going to share how writing has helped him refocus on what he cares about most in his career. Things like accessibility, inclusive design, ethics in product design. Writing has already helped him get a lot more attention online. He had a breakout article that got picked up by Fast Company. He is able to book speaking opportunities, and it's clarified how he thinks about things. He uses writing to clarify and structure his thinking. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share those clips with you right now.
Aloha, my name is Terry Rodriguez Hong. I'm a UX UI designer from the Bay Area. And what I like to write about is accessibility, design, investing in yourself, and having a strong mindset. And Larry has been pushing me to keep writing. And ever since January, I have tagged him in pretty much in all my writing articles because he definitely has kept me accountable for my writing. So, like I said, I started in January in 2021, and it is now April, and I actually been doing articles, and he's been keeping tabs on me. So thanks, Larry, for that. And it's good to write. So just write, just action and just write. Aloha.
My name is Christopher Shute. I'm a UX design consultant. I like to write about ed tech, specifically where there's room for improvement within the industry, as well as why companies should consider hiring people from teaching backgrounds or career changers in general. Writing's helped me personally by giving me a lot of confidence in my work, but also by allowing me to talk about issues I feel very strongly about. And professionally, it was a great way to expand my network and meet more people who have the same interests and feel as strongly about these same topics as I do.
Hi there. My name is Anna Kudina, and I'm a freelance content strategist that spends about 50% of my time in the US and 50% of my time in Costa Rica. I started out as a professional copywriter over 10 years ago, but I've always written, having had my own blog when I was about 12 or so. I currently write a lot of search engine optimized content for my clients, making their content easier to find for an audience that's more relevant to them. I also write blog posts and long form articles for a wide array of industries, everything from the medical industry to tech and entrepreneurship. Content marketing strategy has allowed me the flexibility to travel around the world and work with a wide range of international clients. The ability to know how to concisely put materials together so that everyone can understand has not only benefited me, my team, but also has helped my clients make a bigger impact in the world.
Hi, my name's Trip Odell, and I am a product design director with Pearson Education. I run a design team in London focused on the future of learning. Writing really helped me to refocus what I care most about in my career. Whether that is things like accessibility and inclusive design, ethics in product design, or even some stuff as far afield as personal branding or how you characterize yourself in your career. It helped me in ways that I didn't expect. Mostly, writing reflects how you think. And so when you can spend time hammering through those ideas and get it down to something that is good enough or you feel is good enough or almost good enough to share with other people and get feedback, you start to find that things that might seem obvious aren't quite as obvious to other people and that there's definitely an audience for it. And when you share that online, you get a lot of attention. You get, as I've experienced, opportunities to speak to groups. And it's helped me grow how I talk about my career, why I do what I do, and has opened up opportunities that I never would have imagined before. So writing has definitely been a huge benefit for me. And I've had to, it's not always been easy. I mean, I use a lot of different tools to accomplish it. I kind of approach it in an unconventional way, but it's possible if you really think about what you want to say and how to get it out there.
All right, so moving on. That's how writing can help you professionally. Writing also helps you personally. Writing is useful on so many levels. It's an effective tool that extends the power of your mind. I have a quote from Jack London. Hopefully you know that name. It says, keep a notebook, travel with it, eat with it, sleep with it. Slap into it every stray thought that flutters up into your brain. Cheap paper is less perishable than gray matter, and lead pencil markings endure longer than memory. And that's absolutely true. Our memory is imperfect. You know that. We can only remember so much, and it's usually flawed. We have mistakes in our memory. Happens all the time. When we're trying to think about something, it's often frenetic and fragmented. I mean, thoughts are shooting around in our brain, and many of us, myself included, become easily distracted. We get off topic and we lose track of what we were trying to do. Writing is the solution for all of this. It extends your memory and becomes a permanent store of your thoughts. It helps you work through issues and provides a structure for your thinking process. It helps you focus and refocus. I found that writing always helps me organize my thoughts. I mean, I can quickly stream words onto the page, just trying to capture it all. I do that often where it's like, don't let yourself be caught up in the editing and is this correct? Is it grammatically correct? It's just a stream of consciousness and capturing the thoughts in my head before I lose them, before I forget them. And then I do editing to take all that chaos and reform it into a coherent structure. I'm sure you've experienced that feeling of having a million ideas and issues and problems swirling around in your brain. I know many people, my wife included, who have trouble falling asleep at night because their mind is racing and racing with all of these thoughts and they can't stop thinking about them. I used to have that problem too. I used to have a real huge issue with insomnia when I was younger. And I learned a simple trick, and that is to quickly capture all of those thoughts, all that stuff racing around in my brain. Oh, I need to take care of this. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh man, I forgot that I have to do that task. I better get that done. Oh, I need to call that person. I just write it all down in a paper notebook, keep it by my bed, and it helps me fall asleep in the evening. I know logically that I can't make more progress on it. I'm not going to get up and work for another 8 hours. I can't solve all of these problems at bedtime. And I know that I need to sleep. I am a wreck if I don't sleep. We all are. But I also know I can't relax until all of those issues are written down. And that way I'll remember to deal with it in the morning. And that helps. Once it's out of my head, I write all these things down in a bulleted list and checkbox list. And then I'm like, okay, now I can sleep. I'll take care of this in the morning. And then I start in the morning with more writing. It's morning journaling. It helps me focus my day. I also harness my creativity before, the tasks and all the stuff that you have to get done during the work day, strip all your creativity away. And it kind of does. I'm most creative first thing in the morning before work takes away all of that creativity and all that freedom. So I jot down also what my goals are for the day, what I want to get done, and all the tasks that I want to accomplish, things I don't want to forget. I capture random thoughts and feelings and just whatever, the random musings that are going through my brain. The act of writing is often very cathartic. And research has found that writing can help you process traumatic, stressful, or emotional events, which improves your physical and psychological well-being. And I linked to some of that research if you go online to newsletter.invinciblecareer.com and you check out this most recent post. I have a lot of this stuff linked. There's a book that I linked. It's called Opening Up, The Healing Power of Expressing Emotions. And it's written by psychologist James W. Pennebaker. He shares research that writing can even boost your immune system. And more studies that he shared have found that what they call emotional writing, so it's not just the stuff I was talking about, like writing down to-dos and tasks and all that kind of stuff, but writing about your feelings and worries and fears and concerns and all that stuff. The emotional writing can lower your blood pressure. It can reduce feelings of depression, and it can elevate your mood. So even if you're not sold yet on my recommendations for writing, to boost your career, maybe it's because you're a little nervous about putting yourself out there. I don't blame you. I used to be too. Writing for your eyes only is still very beneficial. Journaling, taking notes, no one ever has to see this but you. Write for yourself. If you'll do nothing else, write for yourself. And then finally, the third way that writing can really it can change your life and the lives of others, as your writing can help other people. Sharing your wisdom and your advice can help other people. For some people, that is the primary reason that they write. They want to help people. They want to help them deal with issues. They want to help them avoid mistakes that they've made. They want to help them be successful more quickly. They want to help people be happier and more fulfilled. Much of my writing, as you've probably noticed, is focused on how-to information and strategies for tackling various issues at work and with your career and coworkers and toxic bosses and public speaking, you name it. I enjoy that. I enjoy helping you conquer problems at work, the stuff that I used to deal with, the stuff that my clients deal with. I want to help you be more successful. I actually enjoy this. I really do. I enjoy helping people be more successful and helping you figure out how to let the world know that you exist. And writing is one way to do that. And eventually just ways to reclaim your power and regain your freedom so that you can work and live on your own terms. But I also write occasionally about coping with personal issues too. I've shared a few stories from my childhood, various stories from my younger life, my early career, stuff like that I hope can help others. And I've had people comment on those posts, those stories, those articles. I've had people message me privately. I'm not going to share what they shared with me privately. I can't believe that something I wrote in a story helped someone in some unexpected way. It's surprising, it's fulfilling, it's gratifying. It makes me happy that I've helped someone just by writing a story. And I have a few examples of those. One person said, "Thank you for your reassurance. I always feel like I'm alone in going through this type of situation. I don't want to feel that I'm the only one anymore." Another person said, "I thought this is just me. Thank you very much." Somebody said, "Thank you for this. I've been doing something similar, and it is nice to see it affirmed by someone who's already done it." Another person said, "Great article. I forwarded this to a friend who is also frightened of small talk and socializing." And then finally, "Thank you, Larry, for making me feel vindicated and valued at the same time. Sometimes it is very difficult to live and explain to people the life of an introvert." So if you've listened this far, you're this far along in this episode, even if you don't care about writing to help yourself, professionally or personally, you may want to consider how your writing could help a fellow human being. And I think everybody has something to share. One of the biggest things that I hear from people is like, well, what could I possibly share? What could I possibly write about? Well, you're alive and breathing. Many of you listening are employed. You're taking care of yourself. You are providing for yourself and your family or loved ones. You have figured some stuff out. There is always someone on the path behind you. I don't care how young you are, how early you are in your career. You can look back and reach back and help someone who's behind you on that path. More senior people can help more junior people. People who've dealt with being laid off and fired can help those who are going to deal with it and maybe going through it. If you're employed and you just started your job, there are young people in college who are just getting ready to graduate or trying to figure out how to get their first job. If you're in college and you're like, well, what could I offer? There are even younger people trying to figure out, how do I get into college? How do I apply to college? What colleges should I go to? What major should I study? I mean, everyone has something that can help someone else. You never know how much your advice could benefit someone else. You never know how much your experience could help someone overcome their anxiety, their fear, and their shame. Words are powerful. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you would like to follow upcoming releases of the show, please subscribe. And as always, I appreciate your ratings and reviews. Thank you. If you would like to learn more about Invincible Career and the podcast, you can visit invinciblecareer.com. Until next time, I wish you the best of luck in becoming an opportunity magnet for the best things in life.